G'day again, and we're going to jump into another trigonometry video. This one again for 5.2 mathematics. On this video we're going to look at finding unknown sides. Don't need to worry too much about all that writing there. There's just some examples of some values that might become useful at some point. So let's jump right ahead. So using a calculator, the first thing we want to remember is that mnemonic of SOHCAHTOA. So the mnemonic of SOHCAHTOA, I'm going to pop that up there. Okay, just so I've got that as a bit of an aid to remember what's going on. So over here, I'm going to use a calculator to find these bits and pieces. First of all, I want to label all my sides. So if I go through and label all my sides, okay, I have H, O, and A, H, O, and A, H, O, and A. Those angles that are listed there, they are in fact our angles of reference. So what we're going to do is we are going to decide which ratio we're going to use. For our first one, we have the opposite side for x. We have the hypotenuse included. That means we need to use the sine ratio. So that's sine theta, which is opposite over hypotenuse. I plug in what I know. Sine 30 degrees is x over 3. I use a little bit of algebra and I multiply both sides by 3, and I've really got x equals 3 sine 30 degrees. Now I can find my calculator to use that with. Alright, so let's look at our calculator. Let's turn it on. And I have 3 sine 30 degrees gives me 1.5. Okay, so same idea all the way along, only this next one we're going to use cosine because we have the adjacent side to our angle of reference. So we have A over H this time. Then it's 42 degrees, x over 7.2. Again, going back to some algebra skills. Multiply both sides by 7.2. That gives me x equals 7.2 cos 42. Let's go back to our calculator. Alright, we have 7.2 cos 42. Close our bracket. Equals, let's round it to 2 decimal places there, and it's going to be 5.35. Okay, hopefully you're following along, hopefully you're getting the drift. Now last one there, well, we don't have the hypotenuse anymore, so we're just stuck with tan. So we go tan theta is O over A. Tan 71 is going to be x over 4. Use our algebra, our solving equations skills to solve for x. Okay, that's where we're up to. Let's find our calculator again. Pop it over this side. We have 4 tan 71. It equals, and we'll go to 2 decimal places again, so it'll be 11.62. Okay, So this is what's happening this video. Let's keep going. So here we're going to use the calculator to evaluate the following correct 2 decimal places. Now the buttons that we're going to press, obviously, if I bring up my calculator again, clear it up. I want to hit, brings up our sign, 50 for our 50, close off my brackets. Okay. Now I can use a degree sign if I need to. Don't really need to for this one. I'm going to hit the equal sign, and you can see there I get 0.76604. Now we need to round to 2 decimal places, so remembering that we're going to cut off at that 2nd decimal place. I'm popping in a little line there to cut that all off. I look at my next number along. If it's above way like this one is, then this number here needs to go up 1. Okay, so that means 0.77. Okay, let's look at the next one. The next one, we are going to need our degrees, minutes, seconds button. Let's bring our calculator back up. Okay, so this time it's the cosine one, so we're going to use cos. And then 16, actually we don't need the degrees, minutes, seconds until the next one, but 16.1, close off our bracket, hit the equals. So now we've got 0.96077, etc. So let's see how that's looking. So 0.9607. Make sure I get that right. Oops, I've got an again, 2 decimal places. Cut it off at that 2nd spot. This one is below halfway. Stay the same. So 0.96. We've got another one there. 1077.18. So that's 77 degrees and 18 minutes. So we have degrees, we have minutes, and we have seconds. So let's find the calculator again. Pop them over the other side so we can see what we're doing. So this time we've got 1077. Now before we break off that bracket or close off the bracket, we do need to put in the degrees. So that's this button here, the degrees, minutes, seconds, DMS. It might have the symbols, so the degree sign, the apostrophe, and the quotation mark. Then just 18. And you can either hit it again or you can just close off the bracket. Oop, might need to hit it again. Let's go back. Try that one more time. There we go. So it's going to be 4.4373. Again, we're cutting off at that 2nd decimal place. We are once again above halfway. So our answer will be 4.44. So remembering to round off appropriately. Here's our next one. We're going to find the value of x in the equation, correct to 2 decimal places. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite my equation. Okay, and then I'm going to use my solving equation skills to solve for x. So that's multiply by 3 because I'm dividing by 3. Multiply by 3 because I'm dividing by 3. Gives me x equals 3 cos 20. And that's what I pop into my calculator. Alright. So let's see again. 3 cos 20. And we have 2.81907, etc. Okay, and again we want 2 decimal places. I'm missing a number in there. Let's fix that up. Okay, so let's cut off at that second decimal place. Okay, looking at this number here, well, that's 9, that's definitely above halfway. So we get 2.82, so that 1 needs to go up by 1. So remember to use your techniques for solving equations. Okay, we've got 3 little triangles to finish off with. Let's just do the one though, just to get us going. Let's look at our first one. I'm going to label our sides. Okay, we have a value for the hypotenuse, so we can't use tan. We have nothing there labelled for the adjacent side, so we can't use cosine. So we're left with sine. So sine theta equals O over H. Okay, so we plug in what we know. Alright, so sine 38 equals x over 7. Multiply both sides by 7 because we are dividing, so we need to use the opposite. And we get x is 7 sine 38 degrees. And we can plug that into our calculator. Okay, so 7 sine 38, close off the bracket, equals 4.3096, etc. Okay, we want 2 decimal places once again. So we cut it off. This one is again above halfway. So we are going to have a value of 4.31 units. That's how easy it is. We don't need to go into the next 2 examples. Good luck with some of your questions and see you in the next video.